Hello and welcome to Playthrough Board Games. Today I wanted to take you through one of my newly acquired kickstarters, Dragon's Ransom, shown here. This is a small box game, and the title on the game is a reverse dungeon crawler. In this game you'll take on the role of a dungeon lord who is trying to protect his treasure from a group of nefarious heroes who are adventuring through your dungeon trying to collect all of your belongings. This is primarily a solo experience, but there are alternative rules to allow you to play with a group. I've only played solo, so I'll mainly be discussing that. The game overall is a quick play. You get to see a lot of different cards. The artwork is quite nice, and we'll go through that as we delve into the deck a little more deeply. Here's an image of the 4 heroes that are trying to take treasure from your well-constructed dungeon. You have a cleric, a rogue, a warrior, and a wizard. These cards aren't heavily detailed, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how firm they are. They're actually quite sturdy. But the only things that the hero cards show you are their class, which is represented by this symbol up at the top left. You'll use that symbol as you draw cards from the main deck to identify what attacks each hero will perform. And let me show you an example of that. Here's the wizard card with a fire symbol up at the top left, or like a runic symbol up at the top left. And then here's an attack that the wizard can use. It even states up at the top, basic wizard. So it just is an additional way to tell which cards go with which heroes. Heroes also have their hit points listed at the top right. 15 hit points for most of the heroes except for the warrior, who has 20. Finally, as you saw a glimpse of a few minutes ago, the heroes can be turned over when you've defeated them, and they look all beaten up and swollen. So at that point they can no longer perform actions, which makes the game easier. So the quicker you destroy a single hero, the better off you are. So let me show you a little bit about the deck itself. I've shown you one of the hero cards. Let me show you a few of the monster cards. This is an ogre mage, and the cards have particular characteristics that allow them to interact a little bit more favorably with particular types of cards. That's shown here at the top. These are the types of minions. In this case, this minion, an ogre mage, is both a beast and an arcane minion. However, the type of minion doesn't really matter. What matters more is the chain, and the chains are built into each of the cards. Whenever you're fighting against one of these heroes, you will try to create a long chain of monsters together, which you'll use to defeat the heroes. Chains come in 3 different flavors. You have a chain that's a start, so there's no chain at the very top of the card. A chain that acts as a middle card, which can be attached to almost any chain, at least any starting chain or any middle chain. And an ending chain, such as this, the Black Dragon. It's placed at the end of a chain, and it finalizes the attack on the hero. However, when you complete a chain, that's not when the attack initiates. In order to actually attack the heroes, you have to have a card in your hand called Attack, which allows you to send any one of your chains that you have. A note about the attack specifically is that if you have more than 3 attacks in your hand, you must play one at the end of your turn. So you can't hoard attacks in an effort to just destroy the heroes as quickly as possible. That shows you a few of the cards. And that's the basic gist. The cards can chain together. Let me show you a few examples here. This particular, the cards can chain together, but they also have special characteristics. This particular monster is immune to wizard attacks. The floating, and one other thing about these cards, the damage that they cause to the heroes is listed up here at the top. This is called the attack value. So the ogre mage is able to do 3 damage to a single hero. The floating eye, on the other hand, is only able to do 0, but if he's slain, you can look at the top 3 cards of the minion deck and sort of plan your next few moves. Finally, the Black Dragon. He is quite strong and has a value of 6 attack. When played, though, you need to discard a minion from this minion's chain. So if this chain were in place, we could discard the floating eye, and we would do 9 damage to whoever we were attacking. Say we were hitting the rogue, that would be pretty severe damage to her. So now that I've shown you how a few of the cards, I want to show you one additional type of card, and that's how the heroes actually come to attack you. And this is going to be important for setup in a game. This is a hero's attack card. The hero's attack cards allow the heroes to use the attacks that they have built up to ultimately try to defeat you. And I'm going to show you real quick. Say you draw this card and a hero has queued up, slay the strongest minion. Here's the wizard. Say you have a minion out. The basic wizard would act on this chain and defeat that wizard. And that would be it. The number of heroes attacks cards affect the difficulty of the scenario. In this case, I've played the game on easy difficulty. I've shifted for this review to normal difficulty, which includes 9 hero attack cards in the deck. The way you lose is if the heroes make it all the way through the deck. So heroes attack removes your chain, parts of your chains, and can ultimately cause you lead to defeat if problems aren't dealt with quickly. The basics of the game are you have created a dungeon. This is a massive dungeon. The game includes 162 cards, and the dungeon includes almost all of those cards. The heroes are going to begin by adventuring through the dungeon, and the way they do this is you draw a set of 7 cards from your from the top of the dungeon. You do that prior to inserting the hero's attack cards, by the way. So make sure you do that before you insert your hero's attack cards, because you don't want to be having the hero's attack before the game begins. You'll get a number of cards. In this case, I received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monster cards that I can use to attack the heroes. I received 1 hero item, and you can see that this hero item matches the rogue's class. So I'll attach the invisibility cloak to the rogue. This says that the rogue cannot receive wounds until he performs an attack. So this goes up in the top area there. And I've also received an attack. So if I can get a chain together and destroy one of these heroes quickly, I'll be in good shape. At the end of each turn, you draw up to 7 cards. You can choose how many cards you want to draw. But when you draw a card that is positive for the hero, you have to play it immediately. Hello again, folks. I want to be honest. I played this game last night and I totally destroyed it. The Dungeon Lord managed to defeat 3 of the heroes before they could even attack him. That was a little disappointing because I want at least some challenge. So I played again this afternoon and I got attacked a few times, but things were still fairly easy. I thought I would give this playthrough one more go and see if we could show you a little bit more of the challenge that the game can pose, and hope that we get to see more of the hero actions and less of just the Dungeon Lord acting. I started by drawing 7 cards from this deck, which those 7 cards are here. The 7 cards include monsters, which the monsters have these the gold chains attached to them on the left and right side. An item, which is specific to the rogue, the rogue's icon is shown here. This is the invisibility cloak. The rogue cannot receive wounds until the rogue has performed an attack. So this is immediately placed on the rogue, and she now has some defense. I also received some attacks, so I can perform attack actions with my monsters. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the monsters I actually have. I have the gelatinous cube, which allows me to discard all items attached to this hero. So I may actually go after the rogue with the gelatinous cube. You'll notice that all 4 of my monsters have a chain that covers the entire length of the card. That means that these are normally played as the middle portion of a chain. But you can start a chain at the beginning, at the middle, it doesn't matter. So I could take all 4 of these and chain them together into one chain, which I could then send to attack the hero. If the chain were broken by another card, then the chain would be broken, and I'd only be able to send the chain that was closest to the hero. I'll also point out that when building the dungeon deck, I set the game to normal difficulty. That means I pulled 9 hero attack cards from the box, separated the deck into 3 piles, and added 3 hero attack cards to each of those 3 piles, shuffled the 3 piles independently, and stuck the deck back together. So let's begin by deciding how we're going to play this. I like to hold on to my attack cards, so I'm going to put those here and I'm going to keep them. I don't want to attack anything yet, but I do want to draw a large number of cards next turn. Since the rogue currently has the invisibility cloak, I'm going to begin by just putting all of the monsters on the rogue. This would lead to the invisibility cloak being discarded. I have 2 cards in my hand. I draw up to 5. I do not look at the cards when drawing. After I've drawn the 5, I flip them over to see what has come out of the dungeon. And what I see are 2 cleric cards that get attached to the cleric before I do anything else. And these are healing spells, healing fervor, and holy fervor and lesser heal. I'm hoping I can get that holy fervor off before I actually do any damage to any of my creatures. Have another zombie. So I'm going to continue my chain on the rogue here. And right now I have, if I add up the damage that these minions can cause, it's this golden coin up here at the top right. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. If I were to put the white dragon on, that would put us at 11. That's still clearly not enough to defeat the rogue. So, I'm going to hold off. If I were to add the white dragon to the bottom of my chain, I'll show you the bottom of my chain, that would close the chain off, and I wouldn't be able to add anything else. So I'm going to keep the white dragon in my hand, and I'm going to draw. I have 3 cards in my hand. I can draw 4 more cards. I flip the cards over, and I got a trap. Traps are a little different from what we've seen before. These replace hero abilities when the hero would normally attack. So I could stick this trap on one of the heroes and cause them to take 3 damage when an attack card is drawn. I like that idea. And I'm not totally sure about timing here. I tend to go with the timing I would like to use, but it might be beneficial to use what's most beneficial to the heroes. Hard to know. The trap, however, can be used to replace a hero ability during the attack phase. As I mentioned, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 11. If I were to place this on the rogue along with 1 more damage, the next time the heroes attack, the rogue would be defeated. I think I'm going to try that. I need 1 more damage. I will hold off. I will start building another chain over here. Here's a starting chain type creature, the Dragon Trainer. I'm actually going to put this on the cleric because the cleric can heal. Let's get rid of him as quickly as possible. That leaves me with 5 cards in my hand. I'm going to keep the 5 cards in my hand, and I'm going to draw 2 additional cards. This is the hero's item, the warrior's item. Recover 1 hit point for each minion slain. So that gets attached to the warrior. That's cool. The black dragon might enable me to go ahead and finish off the rogue. But I'm so close to finishing the rogue off anyway. It's hard to... I don't want to waste that. have 3 attack cards. One of the rules of this game is when you have more than 3 attack cards, you have to use one of your attack cards that turn. So I need to use one of these attack cards. I could play the Black Dragon on the cleric. The problem is, if he gets an attack card, he's going to be able to heal his entire group. I think I would prefer to just... I've wasted my trap, haven't I? I'm going to play the Black Dragon here. I have to discard a minion from this chain. I'm going to go ahead and just discard a skeleton. That's because the Black Dragon makes me discard a minion in order to play him. And then I'm going to have 13 possible damage. I'm going to go ahead and send this entire chain out to damage the rogue. So, whoosh, 13 damage. The chain is discarded. The heart tokens in this game are interesting because they're double-sided and they have 5s on one side and 1 on the other. So be careful not to accidentally flip your tokens. That puts the rogue with 2 remaining hit points and a trap on her. I'm going to go ahead and draw up now. I have 4 cards remaining in my hand. 1, 2, 3. I just showed you a preview of what's about to happen. And we have the hero abilities go first. That would be the warrior. And we have a hero's attack. So, we'll begin. Okay. Hero's attack. Let's begin. We'll go right to left because I want to avoid healing the rogue at this point. Slay all warriors minions in the warriors column. The rules state that I look at the heroes column. Are there any minions? There are not, so I look to an adjacent column to see if there are any minions I can defeat. There are not, so I have to discard my highest value card from my hand. In this case, I have a white dragon and a minotaur. I definitely prefer the minotaur. He's 3 damage and he allows me to resolve a chain before the hero's attack when an attack card is drawn. So I'm discarding the white dragon. The warrior's attack card is discarded. Notice his item remains. He hasn't lost any hit points, so he doesn't recover anything. The rogue, the only thing the rogue's going to do is receive 3 damage from this trap that she runs into. And that leads to the defeat of the rogue. The cards in this game can be flipped over. There's a sad-looking rogue that we have just taken out of the dungeon. She can no longer help her companions. And we will use the first card we played on the cleric, and that's Holy Fervor. All heroes recover 5 hit points. The good thing is, none of the heroes are damaged now, because the rogue has been defeated and can no longer recover hit points. Okay, and now we get to continue our turn, because we've completed everything we needed to complete for the heroes. I only have 4 cards, and I don't like any of these cards right now. I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 more cards. And I got a wizard card, and a couple of other cards. A zombie card, which I've already used a bunch of my zombies. The zombie card is nice because if 3 or more zombies are together, each zombie becomes a little stronger. But my zombie cards are mostly in my discard pile now, and I'm not sure how many total there are anyway. I'm going to go ahead and resolve a chain just so I can have draw a few more cards to my hand. I added a zombie and a green dragon to the cleric's chain, and I'll send in that attack. The dragon trainer gets +1 for each dragon type. I count him and the green dragon as a dragon type because they have the dragon symbol. That puts him at 2, and that puts him at 3 total. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, sorry. I can't do that because I have to play on a hero with an item. Well, that messes me up. Alright, we'll just do some minor damage. Again, I want to draw a few more cards. Dragon Trainer gets +1 for himself. The zombie is by himself, so he only gets 1, so that's 3 total. And the blacksmith is 2 for a total of 5. I'm sending in the attack chain, which I've already discarded my attack. That does 5 total damage to the cleric. I now have 3 cards in my hand. I draw 4 more. Another item, Counterspell. Whenever this hero is attacked, she ignores the damage from the strongest minion in the chain. So this gets placed on my wizard. And now I need to start building some more chains. I again still want to work on this cleric here. So I'm going to place my Gargantuan, which is a 3 damage creature. I'm going to put my Sorceress, which allows me to draw 2 additional cards. This could be beneficial, but also non-beneficial. It depends on what we get. 2 basic warrior attacks. Not helpful. Those get put into the warrior's queue. 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 1 more damage, and then I could place the Minotaur and finish off the cleric. So let's drop to 7 cards. I could be drawing less, but I like to play dangerously. So I draw all 4. Oh, and I have trouble. Heroes attack. Okay, now we definitely have some issues. Frost Nova. Slay all minions with attack values less than or equal to 1. I'm going to interpret that as the skeleton gets slayed and he's pulled off. The warrior gets a basic attack, slay the closest minion. There are no minions that are close to him or in his row, so I am going to discard my highest value card, which I have 3 cards with a value of 3, so the green dragon is discarded. And then a lesser heal for the cleric. He recovers the 5 hit points of damage we had done to him. Well, we'll continue on. This trap would be useful if somebody had more attacks in their queue. I'm actually going to place this on the wizard, and that's because I'm hoping she will build up some attacks. 6 possible damage. I can get up to 9, but that's all I can do. So I'm going to have to continue to draw, and again hope to avoid another hero's attack. There are 4 more cards. Chain Lightning. Basic rogue attack. Oh, that gets discarded because there is no rogue anymore. The Lich is quite cool. Minions in this minion's chain cannot be slain. I think that's nice. My chain right now, I could end one of my chains and attack. I think I will. I'm going to play my Bone Dragon for 3 more damage. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 possible damage. I'm sending in that chain. Notice it's connected all the way through. That brings the cleric back down to more where I want him to be. A total of 6 health. And I draw up 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, another hero's attack. Alright, let's put everybody's hero cards out first. That's what happens at the beginning. Hero's attack. Notice I have this card, the Gold Dragon. I can discard this card to cancel a hero attack event. I like that. So I'm actually going to discard the Gold Dragon to prevent the hero's attack from going off. Part of my The strategy behind that is I want the wizard to keep queuing up attacks, so he takes more damage from my trap. I can start a chain here with the miasma, and I will do that. I'm going to start a chain on the wizard, because I know the wizard has to make it through at least one additional attack before he can hurt any of my monsters. I draw 4 cards. I got tons of attack chains now. Still, I have less than 4. I don't have greater than 3, so I'm still in okay shape. But I need to continue to try to defeat this cleric. He has 9. I need 6 damage. I can't do 6 damage. I'm going to play the troll on the cleric. I'm going to discard the green dragon card because I hate the green dragon card. And I'm going to draw up 2 more cards. Pit trap. I can play this to remove a hero attack. I'll go ahead and use that on the warrior. Continue to build my chain here, 3, and I can finish off the cleric now, and I'm going to do that using the lich, and I'll send in an attack. That chain resolves, that's 6 damage, and that knocks the cleric out of the playing field. Okay, 2 more warriors to destroy here. I'll draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get rid of one of these items here. Make a decision here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and focus all of our attack on 1. So the gelatinous cube comes out, the skeleton comes out. We're going to continue to build. The plague bearer is going to go on the warrior. And I could send somebody in to deal some damage, but I'm going to wait. Okay, so drawing 3 more cards. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. And we got a basic rogue attack which gets discarded. Another attack for us. The underling's not so hot. He just allows you to kind of build your chain a little bit. That's good for my miasma though. I want to send one of these chains in. I'm going to go ahead and put the golem here and send in both. Am I going to send in both attack chains? I'll put the minotaur here, and then I'll send in both attack chains. So the minotaur doesn't count because the wizard has that counter spell on him. So we ignore his damage. 2, 3, 4, 5 damage because the miasma gets 2 extra attack because of the number of cards on him, and 5 damage to the warrior. Now we're cooking. We can draw back up to 5 cards. And let's see what we want to do here. We have the basic wizard attack again. Have some good starter cards here. The ogre wizard's quite nice actually. He's immune to wizard attacks. Discard this card instead of performing attack. We'll put that on the warrior. And let's just start building some chains here. Ogre mage, go on the wizard. Apprentice, you can go here just in case we get something better. And we'll draw up 4 cards, and we get, oh no, intervenes discarded. Hero attack means that the heroes will attack again. Fortunately, We've already blocked the warrior's attack. And we have this trap that the wizard will have to go through. Deal 2 damage to this hero for each attack they have in the queue. And he has 3 attacks. She has 3 attacks in the queue. That means she takes 6 damage. So she is down to 4 hit points. Can we finish her off? Maybe not. And that's going to be discarded. I'm going to go ahead and play the troll here to keep building that attack. And then I'm going to draw up to my 3 cards. And I have some things here that are not great, huh? Why not? I'll just keep building the chain. And wait, can I finish her off? 3, 4, 5. Yes. I'll play this. Okay. We'll send in this chain. She ignores the strongest, which we can choose that to be the bone dragon. So that's 3, 4, 5 total damage. She only has 4 hit points. So the wizard is defeated. And all of her stuff is discarded. And all that remains is the warrior. Drawing up 4 more cards. We have a potion. This, my understanding about the potion is it automatically takes effect when you draw it. So the hero regains 5 hit points. So he is no longer damaged. We will continue to build up his chain as well. Notice I could take this card, for instance, and place it here, but again, this would break my chain. So I'm holding off for now until I build up a little bit more damage. 1, 2, 3. The Drake says you may play an additional Drake for no cost, but remember that there is a multiplayer component to this game, and that's what this text stands for. Adding another monster there. I'm running out of things that I can do. Actually, I'll hold on to the Drake. And I'll play the Dragon Trainer instead. But I might as well resolve that chain. You know what? I'm going to discard some of these. Let's resolve this chain. Anything I want to add here? Not really. Resolving. This does 2 damage to the warrior, which means he only has 18 health left. This could take some time. I'm going to discard these 2 because they're not helpful to me right now. And I'm going to go ahead and draw up 3 more. A rogue specific card. Let's start with the Dragon Trainer, which gets +1 for each dragon type minion in the chain. We'll add the Drake. We'll add Overgrowth, which stops the hero from recovering hit points. We'll add the Mimic, which if slain, he actually does damage to the hero. And that allows me to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fervor is discarded. I get a hero's attack. Now, when you draw a hero's attack and there are no attacks queued, nothing happens. So the hero's attack card is discarded. I'll continue to build my chain with all of these chains that I have pulled. And I will draw 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basic wizard attack is discarded. I've got another ogre mage, another necromancer. I'll hold on to the golem trap. As I mentioned, I drew the trap treasure. This distracts the hero and prevents him from attacking when an attack is drawn. This game is fairly similar to what I played before. So far, the heroes haven't had much of a chance. That being said, the warrior does have a lot of hit points left, so I just need to pound away at him in order to try and defeat him. I am going to discard my Ogre Mage and Necromancer. That'll allow me to draw 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. The hero has drawn an attack card. Slay all minions in the warrior's column. This is a really good attack card. Fortunately, he won't be able to use it next turn. My chain is getting almost too long for you to see. I'm going to continue to add creatures to this chain. A mimic. Let's see. And I'm going to keep building here. I have 5 cards in my hand. I draw 2 more. The overgrowth. I already have one of those in my chain. I'll play it because why not? I'm also going to discard... I may play the Shadow Thief. Shadow Thief allows me to discard all items attached to the hero this minion hits. So let's finish this off. +1 for each dragon type. I'd say there's only one. There's a dragon trainer and there's a drake. So the dragon trainer has 3 attack, I would say. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 1 zombie. Infestation, this guy's attached to an undead, so he gets a +1. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage. And the Sword of Heroes is discarded because of the Shadow... that's interesting. Shadow Thief. T-H-E-I-F. A misspelling there. Definitely unintentional. Okay, so we put 11 more damage on the hero. And he is now down to 7 hit points. And that clears off our table again a little bit. I have 5 cards in my hand. I'll begin by continuing to play the Apprentice. Might go ahead and play Infestation just to get that out of my hand and hope I draw an undead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a rogue attack card that gets discarded. I have so many attack cards, I'm just going to start wailing on him. Once played, you may immediately attack with 1 chain. I can also, I'm just going to attack. That's 4 more damage. So he has 3 hit points left. And I have my golem here. Actually discard the attack card I used. I have the golem here. 3 hit points left. I send in this chain. And the warrior is defeated. And we as the Dungeon Lord have just won this game. I'll say that I've played this game 4 times, and I have won the game all 4 times without ever feeling like I was not going to win. I could bump the difficulty up to Legendary. I've been playing it normal. Not sure it would make it much harder. I like the theme. I like the artwork. I think the artwork's kind of nice. I've struggled a bit with the dragons looking very similar to each other. But other than that, and I'll show you an example of that. Here's a gold dragon. Here's a red dragon. You can see they're basically the same, just with different ridges on their head. That's okay though, because the artwork's not bad. I mean, it's a little small. I like the chaining mechanic. I think the game struggles from not having enough hero attacks. Basically, and I mean not the hero attack card, but specific hero actions. The heroes are underpowered to me, and it's quite easy to overpower them. I think that we're playing the game by the rules. If you notice something that I'm missing, please let me know. I don't think that I'm making this easier than it's supposed to be. That being said, the artwork's quite nice. I like the box cover quite a bit. I think it's really well done. I like the idea of a quick playing solo game. I could imagine this being a game that my son would enjoy. He could spend some time doing it. It would be quick and easy for him to get a grasp on. In fact, he played a game with me earlier, and he enjoyed it. He likes pretending like he's evil, or he's actually pretending like the heroes are evil and breaking into the dungeon lord's dungeon and trying to take all the treasure. He thinks it's kind of funny. We have several games where a player gets to be the dungeon lord or overlord, and he enjoys some of the evil behind that in a 7-year-old way. I'm not sure. I don't think this is going to be a game I play continuously. There isn't enough depth for me as a player. We have recently recorded a few videos with the board game Myth, which has received a lot of criticism for its rules not being as clear as they should be. But the thing I enjoy about Myth is the complexity. There are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of things happening. Another game I enjoy a lot that's mainly a solo experience is Mage Knight. To me, this game lacks complexity, and because of that lack of complexity, it's not going to fill any hole in my game library. But, you know, we do the best we can here, and I think, again, this is for the production value. This is a fairly well-designed game. It's just the mechanics work. I just don't see the difficulty here, and I wish there were more depth. That being said, I've tried a second game from this company. It's a game that's called the Hunters of Arkfall, and I played this with my wife. This was a dual order. Dragon's Ransom came with this. This is, again, a fairly simple dice rolling game, and I convinced my wife to play with me, and she's not a gamer, and she said, "Oh, this is really, really fun." It's a little faster, and I think there's more challenge behind Hunters of Arkfall than there is behind Dragon's Ransom. I'd recommend that potentially over Dragon's Ransom, unless you just really want a solo game. A potential way to increase the difficulty would be to remove a quarter of the creatures, maybe. And that might give the heroes a chance to take out the Dungeon Lord. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. We will continue to try to put out playthroughs of new Kickstarters as we receive them. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and we'll try to address them as soon as we can. Thank you for watching.